Hi, welcome to day 2 of my Behind the Podcast series. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video all about the why and who of the podcast. Today we're talking all about the equipment I'm using to produce my podcast. Here's some good news. If you're considering starting a podcast, the list of equipment you need is actually quite small. If you're producing videos, you need a camera or two, right? You need special lighting, a good-looking background, and the ability to edit, right? The list goes on and on. But here's the thing for podcasts. You really just need 3 things. A good microphone, the ability to edit audio, and last, the ability to record without background noise. 3 things. That's a pretty small list. And really, if you look at it, only one of them, the microphone, is a piece of equipment. The other 2 are actually software or a location you already have. So for my microphone, I use something called the Rode Podcaster Dynamic USB microphone. In fact, I'm using it right now, and here it is. I think this was about 150, 160 bucks, and I bought it on Amazon. At the bottom of the video, I've included a link to the specific one I'm using. Now, I bought this microphone about 3 years ago. I originally bought it so I could start recording my online courses. For me, the biggest selling point was how easy it is to use. It literally just has a USB cable. I plug it right in my laptop and voila, we get started. There's no special software or anything. Now you can see it's on the larger size, which I don't mind. It comes with hardware to attach to a surface, right? The nice thing is the attachment to the table is really secure, and it uses that sort of pressure clamp, which means there's no damage to the table, and you can just take it off and move it around anytime. I actually move it around to various points in my house without any issue, depending on where my kids are playing. Now, you don't have to have a microphone like this. You can just get started and use your phone. In fact, that's how I recorded my very first online course. But audio quality is one of the more important aspects. So I quickly upgraded to this microphone and I haven't regretted it. Next up, editing. Unfortunately, nothing is perfect on the first take. So no matter what, there's some editing and post-processing that I have to do. Things like taking out long pauses or places where maybe I've tripped over my words, which happens more often than I would like. Additionally, I have a podcast intro and outro that I play at each episode, and I need to add them in the actual podcast recording before uploading. Editing isn't nearly as onerous as it may seem, especially if you're meticulous with planning your episodes, which is something that I do. This by far makes the editing process so much easier on me. Now, you will see online that a lot of people recommend a software called Audacity for their editing software. The benefit of Audacity is that it's free and it's used by a ton of people to edit their own podcasts. I tried using Audacity, but quickly gave it up and instead used something called Camtasia. This is not any slight against Audacity. It's actually amazing, but Camtasia is something I've been using for years to edit my videos, and I can edit in Camtasia in my sleep at this point. So after downloading Audacity and trying to learn it, I quickly just came to the realization that I can use my own video editor much faster than I can learn Audacity. And that for me was a big enough reason, right? I didn't want to learn a new piece of software. Camtasia does cost money, and truthfully, it's an overkill for just editing a podcast, which is audio only. But as I said, I already own Camtasia, and I'm really comfortable with it. If I didn't have Camtasia, I would probably have used Audacity, and I'd recommend that to someone who is completely new. Now, editing is important, but editing can't make up for distracting background noises, things like sirens going by. So this leads me to the third point in this video. Where do I record, and how do I ensure there aren't any distracting background noises? Many other podcasters have solved this problem by recording in their closet. This gets rid of any echoes and also separates them from the rest of their house to keep background noise to a minimum. Now for me, Recording in a closet isn't an option. I live in a big city. I live in Paris, and closets of any decent size just aren't available. In fact, I remember a long time ago when I rented one of my first apartments after college, the lady who was the current tenant showed me around her apartment, and this wasn't in a big city. She was moving back to San Francisco, where she was from. She showed me the bedroom, and there was a small walk-in closet right off the bedroom. She showed me this walk-in closet and told me the closet was bigger than the bedroom she had back in San Francisco. I literally couldn't believe it. But now, after living in both New York City and Paris, I believe it. I've seen closets bigger than some of the bedrooms we've had. So recording in the closet wasn't an option for me, and I've solved the noise problem in two ways. The first is that I record on a small desk in our bedroom. Our bedroom doesn't face the street, so that already eliminates a decent amount of unintentional noise. This isn't going to eliminate everything, so the next trick I have is a piece of software called Crisp with a K. I don't exactly know how it works, but basically Crisp is this great piece of software that works real time with your recording to remove any background noise that isn't a human voice. It gets rid of echoes, sirens, dogs barking. It's a miracle worker. And this means that only my microphone picks up my voice. It's available for a small monthly fee, and there's also more limited free options. So that's really all it is for my setup. I use a podcaster microphone from Rode that records directly into my laptop. I use my Camtasia software to edit the episodes, and a combination of recording in my bedroom along with the software Crisp to make sure there's no background noise. Next up, tomorrow is my video detailing how to develop the confidence to tackle big projects that are important to you. So stay tuned for your inbox tomorrow where I'm going to share my last video. But before I go, can I ask you to help me? My podcast launches June 15th, and it's really important for the day of the launch for there to be a lot of downloads and subscriptions. Would you take just 2 minutes to subscribe to my podcast, OTs and Pelvic Health? You can find it on Apple or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.